solid waste management in Nigeria. Nigeria is the most populous country in Africa with a current population of 182 million and an annual growth rate of 3.5. The rate of population growth, rapid urbanization, and increased per capita income has resulted in generation of enormous volume of waste, which pose a serious threat to environmental quality and health. Solid waste management has been a major concern in many urban cities, which we have noted earlier on in many Nigerian cities in Nigeria. It is an enormous problem for many city managers in Africa, Asia, and South Africa. As we have noted by Mr. Bidemi in his speech, which is affirmed here, that most of the waste collected are not disposed. Here, Nigeria generates 32 million tons of solid waste annually, out of which 20 or to 30% is collected. So between 70 and 80% are not collected. And we know where they are going to. They are polluting the environment. Let's move on. In Nigeria, our management practice is mainly we generate, we store, there's transportation to disposal sites. In the management hierarchy, which I mentioned in table 2, waste processing to the large extent is not practiced in Nigeria. We generate, we collect or we store, we transport to disposal sites, and then there's sometimes in unplanned settlement, there's disposal to a communal disposal site, and then there's evacuation from that temporary disposal site to a permanent disposal site. And the main option of disposal in Nigeria is open dumping. Open dumping and open burning. That's the main disposal option we have in Nigeria. Let's move on. With this enormous amount of waste that is not collected, and with our bad management practices, waste has an adverse effect on human health and the environment. Table 3 presents communicable diseases associated with poor waste management. As I said before, the main option of our disposal is open dumping. And open dumping provides good breeding ground for disease vectors, such as houseflies, mosquitoes, and rodents. They provide very good breeding sites for this vector, disease vector organism, like the fly, the rodent, and the mosquito-borne diseases. For the fly, you have typhoid, dysentery, cholera, which can be spread. Then for the rodent, you have, I'm sure you know Lassa fever. Everybody knows the time we always have Lassa fever. Then you have mosquito-borne diseases such as malaria, yellow fever, and others. Let's move on. So, and also, environmental problems, also other environmental problems associated with poor waste management include fire hazards, urban flooding, flooding of streams and drainage channels. You have odor, you have nuisance, and then you have leachates. Leachates are wastewater arising from dump sites. And leachates contain heavy metals. They contain toxic metals, such as mercury, cadmium, lead, which can contaminate groundwater. And then there's a release of greenhouse gases into the environment from open dump sites. Then we move on to problems of solid waste management in Nigeria. Problems of solid waste management in Nigeria. The first one is inefficient waste management practice. As I said earlier on, our waste management practice in Nigeria is inefficient. I said we generate, we collect and we store, and then we transport to disposal site. Sorting at source is not done. Waste processing, which covers recycling and energy recovery, is not done in most cities. So the first point is that we have inefficient waste management practice. Number two, lack of proper planning for waste management services by Waste Management Authority. That's another problem. They eventually lead to inability of our authorities to predict and forecast the quantity of waste generated. Lack of proper planning has affected effective solid waste management in Nigeria. As we all know, quantity of waste varies from neighborhood to neighborhood. Quantity of waste varies from days of the week to weeks of the month. More waste is generated during weekends when people are at home than during the day. And then more waste is generated at the end of the month when workers are paid than on ordinary days. Like on the 15th, 16th of the month, everybody is almost financially handicapped. But at the end of the month, when we are all paid, we go for shopping, and more waste is generated. So all these things need to be taken into account when planning on transportation and evacuation of waste. Like in the market, you need to do a waste analysis to know the generation pattern. We need to adopt an integrated solid waste management system which considered how to reduce, reuse, recycle, and manage waste effectively. Citizens need more education on solid waste problem, to increase their participation in waste management. Private providers need to be encouraged more in collection and transportation of solid waste. The local government should be looking at e-waste as a business opportunity to extract valuable resources contained within the waste. Lastly, this is debatable. I think we need to, like the Kenya experience, we need to ban the outright use of plastic bag. Like in Kenya, other countries have followed suit, Rwanda, Eritrea, Mauritania, Kenya. On the 1st of September, there was a new law in Kenya banning the use of plastic carrier bags. Defaulters are going to face a fine of $19,000 to $38,000 or a prison sentence of 4 years. So, and then this has stimulated and encouraged the use of eco-friendly options like plastic bags, cartons, and straw bags. Thank you very much.